today at the rooms for this event, and to those who are joining us online for the launch of the 2022-26 Tourism Vision and Strategy for Newfoundland and Labrador, Vision 26. I'm Carol Ann Gilliard, Assistant Deputy Minister for Tourism, and I'm pleased to be your MC for the event this morning. Before we begin, we respectfully acknowledge the province of Newfoundland and Labrador as the ancestral homelands of many diverse populations of Indigenous people who have contributed to 9,000 years of history, including the Beothuk on the island of Newfoundland. Today, this province is home to diverse populations of Indigenous and other people. We also acknowledge with respect the diverse histories and cultures of the Mi'kmaq, Innu, and Inuit. This is an exciting day for tourism in Newfoundland and Labrador. I was telling my son this morning as we were getting ready that we're all quite proud and excited today. We're about to launch a new vision and strategy that will guide us for the next 5 years and beyond. I explained to him how this vision was developed in the true spirit of partnership. Countless private, public, and nonprofit organizations from all over the province contributed to painting the picture of how we want to grow tourism in Newfoundland and Labrador. It was truly a team effort. So my son asked me if I had a special role in the launch this morning, and I said, well, you know, I'm just going to be the MC and I'll get people up, I'll keep the event moving. And he said, oh, Mom, please don't try to be funny or witty. Just be yourself. So you think I made that up, but I didn't. But they say the role of a good MC is to say everything as briefly as possible. So without further ado, we're going to start the launch with a short video.
Also won't try to be funny or witty. Good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here this morning. Welcome my colleague, Minister Davis. I think Minister Davis was in this department before me and probably led the start of the vision strategy. As Minister of Tourism, Culture, Arts and Recreation, I'm thrilled to launch a brand new vision and strategy for Newfoundland and Labrador's tourism industry, Vision 2026, Transition, Transform and Thrive. This is the result of a collaboration between the Department of Tourism, Culture, Arts and Recreation and many of our tourism partners throughout the province. Its aim is to transition the tourism sector through its recovery from the COVID-19 pandemic to transform Newfoundland and Labrador into a thriving tourism destination. No one here needs to be reminded of the effects of COVID-19 and what it's done to our industry. It was the hardest hit sector, and it will be the last to fully recover. For nearly a decade prior to 2020, Newfoundland and Labrador resident and non-resident visitor numbers were growing stronger and stronger, consistently welcoming more than 500,000 non-resident visitors annually. Since 2011, resident and non-resident tourism spending has reached $1 billion per year, and in 2019, revenues were estimated at $1.2 billion. Although 2021 and 2022 have shown signs that the tourism industry is on its way to recovery, this industry still remains fragile. International travel demand will likely remain suppressed for the next few years and not expected to fully recover until 2025-2026. Domestic travel, however, remains positive and is on a pace to achieve full recovery in 2023. Tourism operators in this province have shown a high level of creativity and resilience and have adapted well to the challenges of the pandemic. The lessons learned over the past few years and the prospect of building back better have equipped us all to be more resilient as we go forward. This 2022-2026 vision and strategy builds on our powerful tourism brand, successful marketing campaigns, our authentic local experiences to accelerate responsible growth and evolve Newfoundland and Labrador into that thriving tourism destination. The strategy will enhance Newfoundland and Labrador's competitiveness. It will serve as a blueprint for a dynamic province-wide tourism network that can adapt and evolve in the face of changing environments. The path ahead will not be without challenges and changes, and that will require an all-hands-on-deck approach. You may ask, how is the 2022-2026 vision and strategy different from previous tourism strategies? The answer is, it establishes a regenerative tourism leadership approach. Regenerative tourism is about guiding and supporting tourism development with an equal focus on places and economics and the well-being of people and places. The approach draws on the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, which were developed as a call to action for all nations to achieve a more sustainable future for our planet. This vision realizes that tourism has a significant impact on life here in Newfoundland and Labrador. It's more than $1 billion industry. It creates employment for people throughout the province, including those in our major centres as well as our rural communities. It enables people to live out their lives and dreams in homes and communities that they love. It keeps those communities vibrant and prosperous and gives us prosperity and purpose. Vision 2026 takes a three-phased approach. Transition 2022-2023 is a short-term strategy that transitions tourism to a more solid footing, building capacity and growing visitation to pre-2020 levels. Transformation 2024-2026 is a comprehensive medium to long-term strategy that transforms our tourism on a sustainable path of consistent and responsible annual visitation, spending, and economic growth. And Thrive 2026 and beyond is a long-term strategy that focuses on regenerative tourism. At this point in the vision, our sector is thriving by constantly monitoring and adapting to the new dynamic and ever-changing tourism environment. The vision outlines the shared goals of the tourism sector. With Vision 2026, we aim to accelerate tourism sector growth by establishing achievable economic targets and addressing progress barriers. We also aim to build resilience by improving the flexibility of tourism operators, creating a business environment where tourism operators thrive. Creating exceptional experiences is another goal of this vision we achieve by growing and fine-tuning tourism experiences. We will prioritize arts, culture, culinary, indigenous, and nature-based experiences. We will aim to drive innovation by continuing to adapt to the digital economy and encouraging innovation to meet economic, social, and environmental objectives. And finally, we will expand seasons by building season extension capacity, resilience, and visitation. Work has already begun on many of these priorities, and in Budget 2022, our government provided $20 million for initiatives outlined in the vision, including investing in air access capacity, developing a new tourism research plan along with an enhanced visitor survey, completing a review of the province's marketing strategy and enhanced marketing investments for the past 2 years, creating exceptional tourism experiences through the recently announced Tourism Experience Enhancement Fund, investing in season extension initiatives to drive visitation outside of the peak summer season, establishing Celebrate NL to implement a provincial event attraction and celebration strategy, completing evaluation of the private and public sector leadership model that evolved and an evolving leadership structure, making strategic investments in signage both at entry points and on theme routes throughout the province. I encourage every one of us here today, as well as those joining us by live stream from their businesses, homes, and communities throughout Newfoundland and Labrador, to go to the link on the Department of Tourism, Culture, Arts, and Recreation website at govnl.ca to learn more about Vision 2026. This is not just a vision for building a great place to visit, it's about building a great place to belong and live. I look forward to working with the tourism industry, partners, stakeholders, locals, and communities in implementing this vision for our province. My appreciation and thanks go to the department for their hard work and dedication. I would also like to thank all the tourism leaders, operators, partners throughout the province who have helped steer this process, including Hospitality Newfoundland and Labrador, Newfoundland and Labrador Tourism Board, our destination management organizations, the Premier's Advisory Council on Tourism, and the countless others, many of whom have joined us this morning, who have contributed to developing this comprehensive strategy. In closing, I would like to say this. Let's commit to a renewed, refreshed approach to seizing the true potential of Newfoundland and Labrador as a tourism destination and supporting our visitor economy. I look forward to working with you all as we move forward in the months and years ahead. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Minister. As the Minister said, this is a true private-public vision and strategy. Vision 2026 would not have been possible without the hard work and contribution from the tourism industry, and in particular, Hospitality Newfoundland and Labrador. Their CEO, Craig Foley, certainly played a critical leadership role in the process and development of Vision 2026. So thank you very much, Craig, for your role. Craig and I have known each other for a really long time, since our first year in university, about 5 years ago. And we have worked side by side for a lot of years, both in tourism, in the tourism industry and outside of the industry in our early work life. Many of you know Craig. Some would say he's funny and witty. So I texted him the other day and said, Craig, I'm emceeing the Vision, can you send me a joke? He wrote back and said, I'm busy working. So I said, that's hilarious, send me another one. So the Board of Directors of Hospitality Newfoundland and Labrador also played a pivotal role in steering the new vision. To say a few words on behalf of Hospitality Newfoundland and Labrador, I would like to welcome Chair Brenda O'Reilly.
Thanks, Carol Ann. As mentioned, I am Brenda O'Reilly, Chair of Hospitality Newfoundland and Labrador. As part of the provincial tourism industry, I feel very fortunate to help present Vision 26 to you all here today. This 5-year strategic plan is vital for our industry, for its continued recovery following the challenges we faced during COVID-19. We're never saying that word again, right? And for growth as a major driver in the Newfoundland and Labrador economy. Today's launch marks the next phase for our tourism industry. It represents the public-private partnership between tourism businesses and the government. But it also represents the hard work, the resiliency, the ingenuity, this word I always have trouble with, we'll skip it, and I practice this so much, and the dedication of the people who every day and night deliver quality experiences. It represents the spirit of Newfoundland and Labrador. So it's very fitting that we're marking this occasion here today at the Rooms. Within these walls, we are surrounded by history, culture, and stories from across this beautiful province, and I think there is no better place to represent our shared values and goals and our people. Much like the story of Newfoundland and Labrador, there are many challenges that lay ahead of us in the local tourism industry as we work toward a prosperous future. But united under the framework of this new vision, there lies so much optimism as we transition, transform, and thrive. This document will be our industry's guiding light. Indeed, some of the actions in this transition phase have already begun in 2022, as our tourism businesses welcome the world back to Newfoundland and Labrador. As we look to the transform phase, we're setting the stage for sustainability in tourism as we continue the path to thrive into 2026 and beyond. We're excited to work together with the provincial government to grow Newfoundland and Labrador as a competitive destination. Thank you to Minister Crocker and the Department of Tourism, Culture, Arts and Recreation for working with our tourism operators and partners in the development of Vision 26. With this support, the tourism industry continues its viable contribution to our province's economy, culture, and identity. And in the spirit of the season, I wish you all a Merry Christmas.
Thank you, Brenda. Our last speaker certainly needs no introduction in tourism circles. Roger Jameson has been a committed leader in the tourism industry for decades. He generously stepped up to take on the role of interim chair of the Newfoundland and Labrador Tourism Board, and he's helped lead the tourism board through the development of Vision 26. Please join me in welcoming Roger Jameson.
Good morning, everyone, and it's so great to see so many colleagues here today as we unveil this plan. To me, it's like having a baby. We've been working on this now for 2.5 to 3 years, and it's been a long time coming, but every time we turned around the goalposts were getting moved by COVID. And so we've had to refocus and change a few times. I think what we're unveiling here today is really a great piece of work that has absolutely been consulted on throughout the industry and throughout the province. So, and I want to thank the board very much for their hard work on this, as well as everybody else who was part of it. The Newfoundland and Labrador Tourism Board was formed in 2009 to lead on common potential, Vision 2020, and ensure our governments and local tourism industry work together to achieve success. And we were very proud of what we had accomplished at the time. And Stan Cook, the former chair, I think is here in the room somewhere, and Stan was a good part of that. For the last couple of years, our board has been working to build upon these successes in the development of the new vision, one that reflects the specific needs and opportunities in Newfoundland and Labrador's tourism industry. In a post-COVID-19 reality, this involved enormous consultation with the industry, stakeholders, and partners, and all levels of government to ensure proper representative of the creativity and diversity that speaks to our population. And for some of you in this room who might not know the composition of the Tourism Board, the Tourism Board is made up of federal departments, provincial departments, Hospitality Newfoundland and Labrador, some private sector operators, and the chairs of all the destination management organizations across the province. So it's a true collaboration. And in speaking with some of my colleagues across the country, I mean, we are the envy of the country. Nobody else has a model that works like this and works well 90% of the time. Sometimes there's a few disagreements, but most of the time we do fine. Vision 26 is a culmination of this collaboration. We're sure that each and every one of you in tourism will see yourself represented in this new vision, and that what you'll find will be a renewed sense of energy and optimism for Newfoundland and Labrador. Today, I wish to thank the people whose hard work and dedication helped to make this vision possible. Minister Crocker, the Department of Culture, Tourism, Culture, Arts and Recreation, Hospitality Newfoundland and Labrador, Adventure Central, Destination Labrador, Destination St. John's, Go Western Newfoundland, Legendary Coast, the Atlantic Canada Opportunities Agency, the Department of Industry, Energy and Technology, and the collective teams who all contributed to the vision that you'll see here today. By coming together under this new strategic framework, we will accelerate the growth in our economic performance, build resiliency for our tourism operators, create exceptional experiences with quality, accessibility, and market readiness, drive innovation with the digital economy, and expand our tourism season beyond what it presently is into a year-round destination. In achieving these goals, I know that tourism in Newfoundland and Labrador will transition, transform, and thrive with Vision 2026. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Roger. So this concludes the launch portion of the event today. Thank you for everyone for joining us here at the rooms and to those who joined us from all over the province online. They say a great launch event should keep everyone on the edge of their seats, not trying to get out, but with excitement. So thank you so much for everybody for being here, and I invite you to enjoy the refreshments here today and network with our colleagues. Thank you so much.